Hey guys, Steve with Premier Guitar, premierguitar.com here in Nashville, Tennessee at 3rd and Lindsley with Osnoy. Hey. Man, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good. We're going to talk about all your stuff today.
Okay.
All right, and since we're right here, we're going to start talking about guitars.
Okay.
All right, so what's your main axe? What are you...
This is a 68 custom shop that the Fender made for me. And it's pretty straightforward. They used to make this model a couple of years ago. It was it was called the 68 Relic. But it had an ash body and it had different tuning pegs. Okay. So when I asked them to make me one, I told them to make it with an older body and like the vintage tuning pegs. And that's it. Everything else is, you know, pickups are the Abigail 69 custom shop.
All stock? Or
yeah.
All Fender pickups?
Yeah, all stock. The bridge is wired, overwound by Lindy Fralin. Okay. But I don't remember. I think it's like a 50s or something like that. It's not the 69. I can't remember what pickup it is. Because I sent him a few and he just overwound them so they sound fatter. And that's it. Anything but that. Frets are a little bigger than normal. That's it.
Now, and what gauge strings are you using on this?
I use 11 with a 12 on the top. This is a 12, the E is a 12, and the bottom is a 48, not a 49. And it's the Dario, of course. Okay,
and this was and for everybody at home, this was a fly date, so he just flew in from New York, came to Nashville right back. So normally you have more guitars on the road. Do you carry a second one?
Well, usually it depends on what I do. It depends on where I play. Usually, if I just go, usually I'll actually fly with one guitar. Okay. It just doesn't matter. You can't fly anymore with more than, you know, one. It's just too much of a hassle. But sometimes I can bring two. Like today, I can bring two. So usually when I do this gig, my band, which is the Twisted Blues band, then I play a Tele and a Strat. So usually it's just two guitars.
So you didn't bring the Tele just because you came to Nashville?
No. I bring a Tele because I use it on the gig.
Okay.
I would actually not bring the Tele because I'm coming to Nashville. Exactly. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, tell us about the Tele.
It's a 58 custom shop. That's totally stock. Okay. The only thing I did is I changed the frets. I like bigger frets, so
I got you.
That's really all it is.
Can you show us the back? Can you show us the Relic job and show us?
It's, you know.
And same stock pickups?
Yeah, that's Tele pick. They're fantastic. Whatever Fender makes is great.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it's the same string. The Dario is like 11 with a set of 11 with a 12 on the top.
Are you carrying any other guitars on the road normally?
No.
I know you said so you're just taking.
Yeah, I just take two. Okay. I don't want to jinx it, but I usually don't break strings because they're heavy. Right. And then I play loud enough that I don't have to dig. The only time I broke strings or I break strings if I don't hear myself well, which doesn't happen much. Well, and speaking of, nice segue, we've got 2 amps behind you. Yes.
And so either way. So speaking of hearing yourself, you've got 2 different things happening here. So you've got the Hot Rod DeVille.
Well, this is usually, I always ask for rental for this. Okay. Just because that's usually, you know, it's a good amp and I know what I'm can get out of it. Sure. But what I use is a Two-Rock. They made it's a Gain Master 100. They actually modified one for me. That's kind of based on the Robin Ford Dumble. So this one, they send it here. Mine is black, this is blonde. I kind of like it better.
You like the blonde better?
Yeah. But it sounds really, really good. It doesn't sound exactly like mine, but it sounds really, really excellent. So it's pretty much the same thing.
And the cabinet is the same as what you use normally?
Yes, I can look at the speakers, but it sounds like it's the same. It sounds like it's the same speakers. It's actually. I don't know what's in here. It sounds really good. I guess.
Well, and disclaimer: we literally just unboxed these.
Yeah, we
for
just
the fly date and put them in here.
But what I use is I use Celestion 65. Okay. And mine. All right. It might be the same. It just has a different. I don't know what it is. We can look later.
And sure. And when, again, not doing a fly date, you're using the Two-Rock. Are you using anything else? Any personal, vintage stuff? Or
I have some vintage. I have like an old Marshall, like it's a 67 Marshall, not a 67, a 73. Sorry, Marshall that I use a lot with a 412 cabinet, like with greenbacks, and then I have a Bandmaster, a 66 Bandmaster. With a 212 cabinet that I use sometimes. That's like when I record, that's a lot of times that's what I use. And then for when I do my band, that's usually either the Two-Rock or the Marshall or the Fender. But lately I've been just playing the Two-Rock really. You know, it's been up for the last 2 years maybe, it's mostly the Two-Rock. And I got like an old Super and an old Deluxe and stuff like that, but they're not loud enough for me when I do this thing with my band.
Right.
This amp, you know, I would probably mainly only use the two-rock, but sometimes if I need a little more headroom or a little more size of sound, then I'll open the amp on the side and just kind of, it just gives you a little bit of more depth sometimes if it's missing, you know.
Are you running these pretty much same volume or
no,
even these out?
No, this
So
is
this
probably gonna be either off or it'll be like maybe just not as loud as this, but it sometimes gives a little more size to the sound. So I'll open it to the point where I hear the side a little bit.
Okay. All right, so Oz, I'm a little surprised.
Really?
No, we're not surprised. Surprised that this is as compact as.
This is not that compact.
But
look,
it is.
It's pretty freaking big.
No, I've seen pictures. You've got, you know, normally you've got.
I got two boards normally,
two
so
boards
one
and-
board is a little small and one board is on that side.
I got you, but I like this compact, nice.
I
nice
love it. It
flat
sounds
eight.
great.
So we're coming out of your guitars, your beautiful guitars, into where? Where we
Into
start?
my wah. This is like it's like a queen, king. It's a queen. It's a queen. It's
a
a
queen.
king. It's a king Vox wah.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I don't know what the year is, but it's good. And then it goes to this LA Sound. It doesn't have a buffer. It's just like an in and out, and it's got a thing here where you can plug in a volume pedal.
Okay.
Just like an interface, but with no buffer.
Okay.
I don't use volume pedal on this gig, but sometimes I can use it if I want to. And then it goes to this is a Dunlop Octavia. And from there it goes to RC booster, AC booster,
Right.
tube screamer, analog man mod,
Okay, you have that
analog
model.
man,
Okay.
the brown mod
Okay. Nice.
that I like. Then it goes to this Mojo Vibe, that's the Univibe.
Mhm.
And then to the Swamp Thang, that's like a tremolo. It's kind of like a, something moved, sorry. It's kind of, it's kind of like it's like a brown face tremolo. It's really good, I really like it. I got it on all my boards. And then then the DLS Rotosim, that's my Leslie simulator
Right.
thing, which I use on and my foot, half of the gig is on that switch because I turn it on and off all the time. So I kind of got to make sure that the switch is easy and good to, you know.
Well, I saw you earlier as we were setting this up. You're pretty adept with, you know, you were in here in this little chicken head, you know, hitting with the toe and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. A lot of stuff, I like to do stuff in real time.
Okay.
So, you know, like here I can change the time of the Univibe with my foot. So if it's kind of like this, it's more like a phaser, and if it's faster, it's more like the kind of the Hendrix thing. And the thing with the Rotosim with the Leslie is pretty big deal because when I play, I constantly use the Leslie on and off. To like sometimes I'll play just a chord and have it on, and then turn it off. So that's why I need it on right in front of my feet all the time.
Now, does this have this doesn't have a tap tempo, does it?
No.
No,
It's got half time.
Okay.
And that's it. And then from there, it's going to this. That's just a regular delay. No, actually, sorry. It's going to here. That's a DD7 Boss digital delay. That is a slap delay, and that's on all the time. On all my boards, I have I don't use reverb, so the slap delay is on all the time. So it's a DD7. So I really like that a lot. So that's on all the time. From there, it goes to another DD7 that just have one repeat, and that's usually when I solo. I use that just to kind of give it a little more depth.
Okay.
From there, it goes to the Deluxe Memory Man. So that's for my more like the lush long delays. That's more. It's not exactly a long delay, but it's for more like ballads. And I forgot one thing: the tuner, that's like the TC Electronic tuner, that comes in after the distortions.
Okay.
So yeah, so the polytune is right after, I guess, the tube screamer.
Okay.
And from there, so from the Memory Man, it goes back into this interface, and from this interface is a cable that goes to the M9. And I either use an M9 or M13. It depends on kind of what gig I do, and it depends on where I'm going also sometimes. But the thing about this is I use the looper in here, and I use all the weird delays that with the tap tempo, all the weird stuff I use there. And what else? I use a fast tremolo in there, and I use some weird effects in there.
What kind of effects that you don't have room for here?
Yeah, well, I can't really do a gig without the Line 6 stuff, because on the Twisted Blues Band thing that I do, I don't loop much. But when I do my regular trio, I loop a lot. So first of all, the looper on these things is great. And then the other thing, either that on the M13. And but there's a reverse delay that goes into like a regular delay and into this sweep echo delay. And all of those are in tap tempo, so you can do all this like kind of U2 stuff and then put a reverse delay on it. That's what I've been doing for years, really. So that's cool. And then on the other row, I have a kind of a weird tremolo. It's like a sequence tremolo, I think. Yeah, it's like that pattern tremolo. And then I have some kind of frequency shifter thing. And then I have an analog delay that I use. And then the cool thing about this box also, that's like all the pyrotechnics come out of here, right. Really, you know what I mean? So the cool thing about this is those two pedals on the end. Mm-hmm. The expression pedal. One is just to control the looper. Okay. And the other one is actually change parameters in the delays and all that stuff. So I use that a lot. That's actually
which is your volume?
So the one with the blue controls the parameters. So for example, on the delay and the sweep echo that are in tap tempo, if I turn this all the way up, you get more repeats. So it almost sounds like you get more sustain. And then on the other stuff, like on the pattern tremolo, I don't remember what I do with it, but on the other thing, the frequency thing, it just changed frequency, so it's cool. It's almost like you do like it actually changes like the pitch, so you play a chord and gives you a different chord. It's kind of really cool. And then the coolest thing is with the analog delay on the end there, it's like me going on a memory man with a hand and doing all the whack, whack, all the kind of scratching kind of thing when you change the tempo of the delay. So I can do it with a foot, which is great. Sure. So that's all the little tricks over there.
It seems simple enough.
Yeah, it's very simple. Sure. I don't think it gets simpler than this.
What kind of cables are holding this all together?
Well, everything is George L's.
Okay.
I don't use George L's going from it's Mugami going to the amps, and it's Mugami going to the guitar. I don't know why, but it's like, I don't know, the George L's seem a little too fragile for me to
they work better.
Yeah, but I do like the sound of George L's for pedals. To me, they're I can't use other cables. It's like I kind of hear it immediately. So that works really well. Excellent. And all my other boards, it's all the same thing. Really.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you today.
Thank you very much.
Have a great show tonight. Thanks for showing us all your toys and all of these toys back here too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.